Hedges Cup final. Two teams who've dominated this competition over recent years and two teams who share a similar style of play. Big guns Scott Young and Ryan Kumu provide the power and aggression in Ayres' defence, while Angelo Catanaro and Alan Schuler give them the edge on mobility. Nottingham's power at the back comes from Mike Bishop and Eric Dubois, and their overall defence unit has the best penalty-killing record in Super League. Both sides have plenty of speed up front. Nottingham captain Jamie Leach sets the pace as Super League's all-time top goal scorer alongside Greg Hadden, Mark Colsar and others. Remember that magnificent semi-final comeback against Manchester? For the Eagles, it's a combination of speed and offensive power from the likes of top goal scorer Mark Wolf and the skillful Mark Montanari. Ayres had no problems in finding the net in their semi-final, putting 12 goals past the London Knights. Captains Catanaro and Leach are about to lead their teams into battle for the 1998 Benson and Hedges Cup final. Now, this showpiece occasion for British ice hockey as ever at the Sheffield Arena, as ever attracting the fans. Thousands of them making their way from Nottingham and down from Scotland, following the Panthers and the Eagles. The first major trophy is up for grabs. It's the Benson and Hedges Cup final from the Sheffield Arena. It's the winners in 94 and 96, the Nottingham Panthers, against the reigning B&H Cup holders, the Ayres Scottish Eagles. Let's head straight to the commentary box to Bob Corral and Steve James.
Big game for the players. It's important that they try and calm their nerves. This is one of the great things that the Ayres Scottish Eagles are very good about. They've got a lot of experience in that area, and it comes in very handy.
Mike Rowe waiting to get the first final of this 1998 season underway. The Ayres Scottish Eagles and the Nottingham Panthers. And it's the Nottingham Panthers who had the first opportunity to get the puck into the Ayres zone. Something they can't do. It's come back the other way, and Trevor Robbins is the first of the netminders who will have a feel of that puck on the end of his stick. First goal in these finals tends to be oh so important. It's won the game in all but one final as the first shot of the game comes in, and it comes in on Vince Riendeau from Greg Hadden. Nottingham keep that puck in that zone. They're setting up for Hadden to have a shot. Zukuski trying to get it out of the corner. Hadden with another one. Again, there was room for Hadden to shoot there from the edge of the circle.
Well, we see a bit of contrast in style between these two teams. We've talked about it before the game starts, Steve. The thing about it is Ayres got those good, quick little forwards, but we're seeing some of that medicine being provided by the Nottingham Panthers early on. Look at them keep that puck deep, dig hard for it down low, and get it out at the most opportune time in the slot area.
The Nottingham Panthers who are piling on the early pressure. Here's a chance, though, for Ayres to relieve that. Again, though, it's the Nottingham Panthers who come forward. This is the new boy, Weaver. Jason Weaver, just in the country a couple of days. This is an introduction for him to ice hockey in this country. He has been playing regularly, unlike the other of the new boys, who's not had too much ice time lately.
Well, it is an adjustment, you know, for players coming into Europe, but I'm sure that Mike Blaisdell will try and use his new players a bit sparingly. Obviously, guys have said this, the Nottingham Panthers have got into this final competition with a short bench, 14 guys, and when you got guys getting used to ice time, they get into the game much easier.
And it's an irony that Nottingham Panthers do have a full bench tonight, although they do have one or two players that aren't fully fit, it must be said. In contrast to Ayres, who have one or two injury problems. Jamie Steer is dressed, but we're not expecting him to take any part in this particular contest. Certainly not much. He's only recently had a back operation. save there by Riendeau. First real save, first stoppage of the game. It's been a breathless start, no goals so far.
I think uncharacteristic of any other sort of final in any competition. This game has started with a real buzz. Vincent Riendeau, he's the guy with all the NHL experience. He's got to come up big in a big game, and look for him to do that. Our special guest has said it, goaltending will be a very key factor.
Big crowd here at the Sheffield Arena. Supporters from plenty of other clubs, but mainly, of course, from Ayr and from Nottingham. And not too many seats in this 10,000 arena left vacant for this game. Scott Young, he's likely to be one of the key players in this particular game. There's Darcy Lowen, number 20. Having not played too much hockey recently, it's interesting to see how he's going to cope with this. Lowen gets the pass away. That's a good pass. Shot just wide from Webber. Certainly Nottingham are the side that have had the better of the opening almost 3 minutes played in this Benson Hedges Cup final.
Well, they're on a bit of a buzz, as we said. The Ayr Scottish Eagles coming out of the European League just this past week. They'll certainly had a bit of a rough ride coming home. They'll be a bit tired. But again, it's that presence that they have in a final-type competition. They're ready for a game like this. They're going to set the stage as the time comes forward.
Well, Nottingham, we have said, have a maximum bench strength of 20, although Bobbitt, Carpenter and Colsar are amongst those that are not 100% fit on this list. They've 7 players left in the side from their cup final victory over Ayr 2 years ago. 3 of them, Hunt, Adey and Webber, also won this trophy with the Panthers back in '94.
That's an interesting comment as well. I think it's something like 18 players entering into this final of the Benson and Hedges this year that have actually played in finals before, and that's a lot of experience to carry into a game like this.
11 of the Ayr players have done exactly that. 7 of the Nottingham players, although in fact Hode, of course, was playing for Nottingham 2 years ago in the final between the two sides, and has now switched to the Scottish side. Shot coming in just wide from the blue line. It was Mitchell who had the effort. It's out of the zone. Adey is still on the ice in there, so it's just dumped in by Bolio. Bolio again looking to set something up. Now Nottingham get beyond that blue line, get the shot and get the rebound maybe as well. Riendeau with a couple of saves there. Now they've cleared the zone. That's a good pass from Biet as well to Byram with a shot taken by Robbins. That's his first real action of the game. He did it just right.
Well, you want to get your goaltender into a game early, and that was a huge save by Trevor Robbins. But Sean Byram, a big guy out on that ice, good in the face-offs, but he's very excellent in going the one direction. And look at this shot. He carries that to the far side of the net, which makes it a difficult save to make for Trevor Robbins. And of course, there's an Ayr Scottish Eagle in looking for a rebound.
And now Byram is going to go into the face-off. He's going to come up against Mark Colsar. An important face-off this, looking perhaps to get it back to the blue line for maybe Bow to have the shot. But it's Nottingham that win it. And they're the side that move forward. Dumping it again, just seeing what's going to happen there. Moves in low, but Nottingham can't gain possession of the puck, so Ayr will move out again. Byram and Parko and David St. Pierre out there at the moment for Ayr, as Trevor Robbins ices the puck, just freezes the puck.
Just to inform you, ladies and gentlemen, that if the scores are level...
Trevor Robbins, very important in getting Nottingham Panthers here, had some great games against Manchester Storm. Ayr have 2 netminders and Trevor Burgess, who are on new territory, having been signed by the Scottish club in the summer. All the rest of the players have played in at least one Benson and Hedges Cup final, including last year's victory. Captain Angelo Catanaro hopes to be repeating the honour of lifting the cup, which he did a year ago in just a couple of hours' time. This is Bow looking for Byram. Offside.
Sean Byram there, he's the guy that Jim Lynch certainly likes to use on big face-offs, and he's a big, strong guy. He puts tremendous leverage on his stick. He's got good, quick hands. We saw that as a result of that big shot, but more importantly, the guy's always there to get you a big goal.
to the Panthers for 80.
There is still a power play for the Nottingham Panthers on the original penalty called against Wolves, so it's still 5-on-4 out there at the moment. Minute and a quarter left on the power play, the first of this 1998 final. As Colsar lowers out in front, and the new boy almost got his first goal of the season.
Well, the referee, Mike Rowe, blows that down because it hits Vince Riendo right in the mask. But Darcy Lowen, he's a big, strong guy. You can see him. Colsar finds him driving to the net, which is what his job is, on the one-timer. And boy, that's just about the one that puts the Nottingham Panthers in the lead.
He obviously knows where to go, Darcy Lowen. He's come out of semi-retirement to rejoin the professional ranks of hockey players with Nottingham Panthers, but he's got a great track record. They call him the Chainsaw. He's a big, tough player who's more known for penalty minutes than points in his time in the NHL, but here come Nottingham again. Haddon, Colsar and Leach are in the centre. It's around the boards to Colsar. Leach back on the blue line, along with Dubois. Colsar loses out. Held too long, and so that's going to be... Is that Brian Kumu that was just holding on to the puck there?
Well, the defenseman Kumu allowed to hang on to the puck in that. The whistle blown by Mike Rowe, which creates the face-off deep in air territory. Brian Kumu spent a little time here in Britain, but always his famous partner with him, Alan Schuler, and they call him the Swoop because he covers so much ice. 100th goal in major competitions with air, so you can see he finds the net as well, Steve.
Had a spell as a player coach as well with Blackburn before coming to Ayr Scottish Eagles, having previously played for Fife in this country, Brian Kumu.
I remember when I first saw him in Fife as well, and that was one of the things that he was very prominent for. Boy, he had great anticipation, and he covered the defensive zone very, very well.
Not much time left now on this first power play of the evening. The Nottingham Panthers trying to take advantage of it. They're going to have another face-off in the air zone with just 16 seconds left of the power play.
This game very physical so far. The Nottingham Panthers especially very much finishing off their checks there. Mark Montanari looks like he maybe caught an errant stick or something deep in the corner there. He was down, but he's up again. He looks like he's all right. Certainly he's a tough customer. He comes to play every night. You can bet he's going to keep in this game.
Entertainment for the crowd. Plenty of that on the ice, of course, and it's the great occasion. This so good. The atmosphere is so fantastic.
Well, that's those Ayr Scottish Eagle cheerleaders, and of course they got the Eagle themselves with them. He's alongside him as well, and that guy's got some moves too. Or maybe it isn't a guy, I don't know, but he's got moves anyways.
Have you checked just to see? Weaver, one of Nottingham's new signings, cycling it back to Garden in the corner. This is Weaver again. Gets it low once more, but the Nottingham Panthers have lost that opportunity on the power play. They do, though, still have the puck where they want it.
Some good work there, though, by the Ayr Scottish Eagles to kill that penalty off and nullify opportunities, certainly offensively, for the Nottingham Panthers.
Zukuski so close there as the puck goes into the crowd. But Zukuski really tested Riendo, and Riendo did a good save there.
Jared Zukuski played in the East Coast Hockey League, and he's a very physical player, and you can see that Mike Blaisdell has certainly put the word out to his guys. Fellas, we've got to be physical against the Ayr Scottish Eagles and finish our checks off. Riendo having to be sharp there.
Jared Zukuski is a player who this year has certainly found his way into trouble with the referees.
I think, Steve, anytime you play physical, that's going to happen. And, you know, if that's what carries your game and makes you play to the best of your capabilities, maybe that's what you got to do.
And it must be said that earlier in the season, as Ayr come forward here with St. Pierre going a long way, and Robbins is beaten. The puck goes over the line. Robbins is beaten by David St. Pierre. He probably can hardly believe it. But they got the first goal. The Ayr Scottish Eagles are ahead.
Well, I don't think David St. Pierre really knew what he was going to do with the puck at this stage, because you can see he starts making moves. He gets more room, and of course, he catches Trevor Robbins backing into his net. He goes on the backhand, which is a very difficult shot to try and stop, and he catches Trevor Robbins way back in his net there, and that just slips underneath his pad to give the Scottish Eagles the first goal.
Assist there for Scott Young and Angelo Cantanaro. And David St. Pierre's second goal in the Benson Hedges Cup competition this year. And a very important one it is indeed. Shot coming in again! An equalizer! That's the way to respond. And Berta has got them straight back on level terms. It's 1-1.
Well, believe it or not, that's a very crucial goal for the Panthers. Pekka Berta, Mike Blaisdell told me at the start of the season, this guy, if he can do anything, boy, can he shoot the puck? And look at this, because Vince Riendo somewhat screened on the play, and he's got no chance because the one-timer beats him upstairs. But it's a turnover deep in air territory that the Nottingham Panthers capitalize on.
Scottish Eagles led in this competition in this final by 1-0 for just 23 seconds before Pekka Berta, with an assist by Jamie Leach, the captain for Nottingham Panthers, so instrumental in getting them here because of that great performance in the semi-final against Manchester, with goals in the first game, assists in the second game. And there's the puck nestling on the side of the net.
Most often you'll see that happen, Steve, when the puck goes onto the back of the net, into the netting there. The goalkeeper puts his hand up in the air, and that's to let the linesman know that the puck is on the back of the mesh there so that they can whistle the play down. It's great to see a capacity crowd here tonight, too. I mean, you know, there ain't too many seats out here. I know we haven't got an official attendance yet, but I'll tell you, they're all on their edge of their seats. What a start to this game.
Saw one or two Sheffield Steelers supporters walking around earlier on with on loan to Scottish Eagles written on their back. You'll know about the big rivalry between Nottingham and Sheffield. Penalty killing working well. They're coming here. Is this a chance for a short-handed goal? Kolsar with a shot just wide. Bounces back into the crease. Riendo happy just to cover up.
Well, I'll tell you, an ideal 2-on-1. Nothing better for the Nottingham Panthers. And of course, they create the shot, which is the most important thing on this play. And Riendo has to come up very hot. Kolsar on his offside, if you like, but he had that far corner picked. Riendo took it away from him.
Roy Mitchell is a coach as well as a player with the Nottingham Panthers. Graham Garden is going in for the Nottingham Panthers for the face-off.
There's a quick picture. Mark Kolsar there, swapping sticks. Obviously not happy with that shot. He felt he should have scored on that one. Just missed the net on it. And of course, I felt Riendo did a great job to come up on that short side there to cut that angle down.
Goal or no goal, at least they're on the penalty kill, so it's good for the Nottingham Panthers to be getting forward and basically keeping the Scottish Eagles back inside their own zone. And a good turnover here and a chance, and Riendo with Garden and Bobbitt right in front of him, standing up tall and strong.
Well, it's aggressive forechecking by the Nottingham Panthers, even on the penalty kill. We see how this has worked for them before. And of course, anytime that you offer a player less opportunity to move that puck, it's going to cause them problems.
They're still unable to set themselves up in the Nottingham zone for this power play. It's Nottingham coming forward once again. Dubois. The net is off once more behind Vincent Riendo, so we'll have another face-off. Let's get some thoughts on the game so far from the Manchester Storm coach, Kurt Kleinendorst.
Well, I think the feeling over stage is done. Ayr still looks like they've got their bus legs, and Nottingham looks like they got pretty good jump. So, you know, we'll have to see what happens here. But Nottingham is playing with a lot of passion, just like we said at the top of the show. And if they continue to play that way and get some goaltending, that could be the right formula.
Well, if it was an intensity competition, Trevor Robbins would win that one. I can't think there's many more intense people in the entire world than Trevor Robbins. 56% to 44%, Nottingham ahead in terms of possession at the moment. Remember, they went a goal down, and just 23 seconds later, the goal scored by St. Pierre was equalised as Nottingham under pressure again here. Robbins has lost it. Byram, can they get it back in there here? Still have possession of the puck, but now Nottingham will have a chance to clear their zone with AD. Not the greatest of passes to Kuma, who just turns it back in.
Yeah, that's a difficult one. You want to try and keep that puck out of the middle of the ice, but the important job was done there because it got outside the blue line, and that nullified the offense of the Ayr Scottish Eagles, which is the play that Mike Blaisdell will certainly be happy with.
These two sides have met twice already this season. Nottingham Panthers won them both. Nothing between the two sides, though, at the moment.
I'll tell you, some bone-crushing checks being handed out there. All these Nottingham Panther forwards, boy, they're finishing them off. They're going in hard on the forecheck, and they're really making the body feel.
Another big one there by Bishop on Bow, though isn't cleared from behind Robbins. Garden. Nottingham here, it's 3-on-3. The shot into Riendo. Just slides it away to Hode on the boards, the former Nottingham Panther, getting a check from Hunt, his former teammate. Back to Hode again. Hunt is still harassing him. All the way down the other end. Weaver, having just flown in from Grand Rapids in Michigan. He's skating towards the net. Now can he get a touchy at the post? Weaver so close to the third goal of this final.
I'll tell you have to be so careful on your defense. You cannot afford to let a guy go. Jamie Leach there read that play so very well. He saw Weaver drive into the net, and of course it's the post that saves the day for the Ayr Scottish Eagles. But what a way to enter the country if you score a goal, you know, that gives you so much composure, makes you feel better.
The action areas for this first period has been mainly in the Ayr zone. In fact, quite significantly more so than in the Nottingham zone.
Well, penalties not really being a factor, so you can see that the Nottingham Panthers have certainly spent a lot of time in Ayr territory, and you can see that they're buzzing in there, boy. They're hungry for this cup. And of course, as Ayr have always said, you know, it's always difficult when you've won something to try and keep it. That's the difficult job.
Well, Nottingham had such a very good start in this game in terms of the opening few minutes. And then it was Ayr that got the first goal, and the first goal has won the final on every occasion but one. That was last year when Ayr went behind, but ended up beating Cardiff. As Bishop gets the shot on, it's blocked by the pads. The second one from AD is blocked by Riendo too. And all of a sudden it's swinging back the other way with Byram checked against the boards by Dubois. The puck is out of the ice, 44 seconds left, 1-1, and we're going to have a face-off inside the Nottingham zone.
Well, no places to hide out there. Jim Lynch, the coach of the Ayr Scottish Eagles, knows that his team's in for a tough one. Nonetheless, will experience prevail? Here's the opportunity the Panthers had. Bishop with a shot on goal. Of course, the rebound that's ever so evil that Riendo has to come up with a big save again with.
With 43 seconds left on the clock, this could be the last really important play. If Byram could get it back, he can't do so. And Burgess will have to backtrack in the face of Weaver. Tried to bring in Jamie Leach. Jamie Leach getting forward. Leach is still in the zone. He hasn't cleared it yet for Nottingham to play the puck in. Now he has. The puck is played in. Weaver challenging. Some good forechecking there from the Nottingham Panthers. Colsar and Weaver. Leach was out in front of the net too, but the puck goes around the boards. We've got 16 seconds left on the clock. 1-1. Parco. There's St. Pierre, the goal scorer, with Parco as well. Good play by Nottingham Panthers. What a great first period we've had here. 2 goals. We had a fight as well. We had a power play to each side. It's been an impressive performance from both sides in a great atmosphere.
After the first period, the Nottingham fans have seen their side get back into this game, having gone behind to Ayr. It is one apiece. The second period is coming up for you live next on Sky Sports 2.
Have come out against the Nottingham Panthers twice and won. Once in overtime, they beat the Ayr Scottish Eagles. One of these two sides, though, has to win on this Sheffield ice tonight. Even if it goes to overtime, even if it goes to penalties, the first trophy of the season is going to be decided. We've got 2 periods of regulation to go. There's nothing between the two sides. It's 1-1, and it really is very, very exciting, isn't it, Bob?
Mike Blaisdell on the back of the bench, and he is so focal with his players. As we know, he came out of retirement to help his team out when they were a bit short-staffed, you know. I think that is so important when you've got a coach that is really in flavor with what's happening on the ice.
Mike Blaisdell, most definitely a player's player. The last time that, the Nottingham have won this competition twice. They beat Ayr, of course, 2 years ago, but in 1994 he'd retired, he came back out of retirement, and they beat the Cardiff Devils here in the final, and Mike Blaisdell on that occasion scored a hat-trick. He really is a player and now a coach who leads by example, knows what he demands of his players. There's some early action around Riendo's net. Ayr, though, just bringing it out. The pass just missing the stick of Schuler. Robbins being very proactive in trying to keep the puck going there for Nottingham. Still not out of the corner, though. Now Dubois can take it away.
You can see a lot more physical play, Steve, from the Ayr Scottish Eagle. Exactly what our special guest spoke about. You can see them starting to finish their checks off a little bit, and that's what they've got to try and do to be effective in this game.
Puck just coming out of the Nottingham zone. Turned back in there. Bishop is the man who will get the puck from Trevor Robbins. They'll look now for a way to go forward. They started so well in the first period, Nottingham. They eventually went a goal behind, but they were really buzzing from the off. And they'll be looking to try and keep that momentum up now in the second period. Touch though for the icing will come back down to the other end as the fans get their first real chance of this second period to get behind the sides. And that's going to be a big part in keeping this game at the kind of excitement and intensity we saw in the first period.
Well, there's the Ayr Scottish Eagle cheerleaders, and I was just going to say that the Eagle itself was there, but it isn't anymore. I don't know where. It must be roaming around that building, but I'm sure there must be like 10 buses that have come down from Scotland to support the Ayr Scottish Eagles.
Everybody just for a second there inside the Nottingham zone. They're backing off a little now, and they're not holding their blue line either, as Nottingham Panthers, with the rush there, got into the zone but couldn't hang on to the puck.
Well, the Ayr Scottish Eagle choosing not to create any forecheck whatsoever, making sure that they've got the Nottingham Panthers kind of channeled, everybody sort of picking their lane, if you like, and trying to pick their man up coming out of the zone.
Montanari got the pass out in front there, another shot coming in, and another one. This time nobody there to take advantage. It's going all the way back down to the other end. There's not going to be an icing call on this one, as Vince Bow picks up the Ayr Scottish Eagles, the side that were the Grand Slam champions last year, had the disappointment in Europe this week, so close to qualifying for the second round of the European Hockey League, just denied 53 seconds from the end against Mannheim. Can they pick themselves up and get themselves another trophy?
Well, I know that was one of the concerns with Jim Lynch. You know, he felt that his team was playing an awful lot of hockey in a short period of time, and those legs would be tired. But as we said, this is a one-off game, and you've got to rise to the occasion.
Great pass from Saint-Pierre to Parco, who almost lost it. Then he tried to bring in Byron, but this is the Nottingham Panthers again. Catanaro across to Young. Didn't quite read it. And now they've given it away. Garden couldn't keep it in. Parco looking to pick up the puck there to get the opportunity, and that's good work, and Parco is out there. Parco needing to control first, trying to get the shot in. There's plenty of Nottingham defensemen back in front to give Robbins plenty of cover there. Still haven't got it away though. Saint-Pierre, the first goal scorer, can he get another one? Nottingham Panthers under a bit of pressure here. Catanaro will make sure that pressure stays on. In fact, he had to just dump the puck in because there were a couple of Ayr players deep inside that zone.
Well, this is when the Ayr Scottish Eagles are so effective because they're starting to skate now, and you can see that they've got a buzz about them, and they're making things happen out there.
They picked up a bit of momentum. This is Bauba. Good move by Bauba. Gets it across to Hoffman. It's saved by Trevor Robbins. Still, though, Scottish Eagles buzzing around that crease, and a little bit of pushing and shoving between Hoffman and Webber by Robbins' net as the puck goes right down to the other end. And a touch for the icing.
Well, a superb start to the second period, and the shots definitely in favor, I would have thought, of the Scottish Eagles early on.
4 shots to 2 for Ayr so far in the second period. They were outshot, though, quite heavily in the first period. 1-1 after that first period. But Ayr picking things up at the start. We've had 4 minutes, pretty non-stop action, 4 minutes as well in this second period here at the Sheffield Arena. The 1998 Benson Hedges Cup final, and living up to the first glittering trophy occasion of the season 2. Montanari against Haddon for this face-off. Haddon just getting the better of that. Bishop on the rush. Nottingham got possession back quite easily there. Couldn't touch the puck, though. They would have been offside. Bishop now driving it back in again. And it's the Ayr Scottish Eagles with an opportunity now to get a rush going forward. Zikuski again. Zikuski still saved, nets off his moorings.
I'll tell you, there was some great defensive work there, and of course created the transition from defense to offense, and that was Paul Eadie, the veteran of the Nottingham Panthers. And it was his cross-ice pass there that created this opportunity for Zikuski, a big, strong guy, to drive to that net there. But the puck just going wide on him.
Jarrett Zikuski with 70 penalty minutes. We were talking about that earlier, and he's got himself 13 points so far. Nottingham trying to forecheck there, but it's Ayr who will come forward. Burgess turning into the corner, and Ayr can take advantage of that puck. It's still low. Now Colsar has the opportunity as the pipes ring out around here. The Ayr fans certainly buoyed by what they've seen so far in this second period. But Weaver, one of the 2 newcomers in the Nottingham side, showing what he can do there. Still going as well. Still trying to get the check on there, can't do so. Ayr will come forward. And the bagpipes still ringing out in this arena. But Nottingham now, can they perhaps silence them? Leach is on the right, Colsar is on the left. It's Colsar who's picked up. Colsar fires it wide. Not many stoppages in this game. It's wide open. It's fast and furious stuff. A few less hits perhaps in the second period so far. Oh, Byram's out there in front. Can he find a way through? Robbins, he's still getting in there. He's still trying to find a way to get his puck on the stick.
Well, I'll tell you, boy, we certainly saw some composure on that play by Sean Byram. The big, strong forward for the Ayr Scottish Eagles. Did you see him there? That puck close and tight to Trevor Robbins. And he looked like he had all the time in the world the way he created the play. We'll have a look at it. Look at this. Makes the move, still looks for something there. You want that puck off me, you try and take it away from me. Some good goaltending and defensive work there for Nottingham to have come and cover up.
Sean Byram getting stuck in there, and the Ayr fans that you can see there will have enjoyed that. The attendance for this game, 8,201. That's a big crowd here. And they certainly haven't been let down so far, have they? Plenty of value for money. And there's plenty more to come in this game as DaCosta clears the zone for Nottingham. Turns straight back in, Carpenter now for Nottingham. And he picks out Hunt, the little British player. Quite a few players who play for Britain. Hunt, though, the one true British player, I suppose, in this game, although Randall Webber lived most of his life in this country. Here now, Air on the breakaway. It's just Riendo, and Riendo gets down and makes the save. The net is off. There's going to be a penalty called here. Robbins made a good save, though.
Well, Steve Carpenter just coming off of injury, and I suppose he's not particularly game fit, but you can see that allows the Scottish Eagles to go in alone here, and Trevor Robbins has to make a huge save because that puck is still loose. And of course that saves the day, doesn't it? When the net goes off its moorings. But as a result of that, I'm certain that the Nottingham Panthers will get some sort of delay a game penalty.
Steve Carpenter took the net off its moorings as far as Mike Rowe was concerned, and so therefore he will be the player that sits out 2 minutes as we get another power play opportunity for the Ayr Scottish Eagles. It's their second of the evening. On the first, they weren't able to get a shot away in goal. In fact, Nottingham had a power play in the first period and only got one shot on goal. But Steve Carpenter, having taken the net off its moorings, gives Ayr Scottish Eagles the man advantage for the next 2 minutes. The face-off in that Nottingham zone as well. Nottingham clear it. They did so well on that first penalty kill, Nottingham. We've talked so much about it this particular season, especially in the Benson and Hedges Cup. It's the best penalty killing overall this season. They're going to be tested again here. Montanari. Ayr Scottish Eagles had plenty of momentum already in the second period. They started well, and now is a real opportunity here. Just cycling the puck well, looking to try and set something up here. Wolf is along the blue line. He gets it, shoots it in. Is it coming loose? The referee's blown up. There's going to be a fight there between Bishop. And there's an Ayr player underneath his body. Mike Bishop wrestling him to the ground. That's Montanari.
Well, you got Dennis Balba underneath there. Mike Bishop putting the bear hug on him. Not wanting him to go anywhere. I always say this, if you're going to be effective on the power play, you've got to move the puck. And that's exactly what the Scottish Eagles are doing here. Again, specific instruction from the Nottingham coaches. Hang on to these guys. Don't let those loose pucks get away from you in front of the net.
Mike Bishop certainly wasn't going to let Dino Bauer get anything from that rebound. It was all in wrestling from Mike Bishop. Defenseman doing his job, clearing that zone. Again, it's Nottingham who are under pressure here. Roy Mitchell with a good hit there. And they clear their zone. And is that going to be a penalty called? The referee, Mike Rowe, has spotted it. And so we're going to be back level. It's going to be 4-on-4. Interference is the call. And the Ayr Scottish Eagles will see Trevor Burgess go and sit down for 2 minutes.
Well, Greg Haddon gets the jump on Trevor Burgess here. And there's nothing but pay dirt ahead of him if he goes in alone on Vincent Riendo. So that's the call you got to make. Do I haul the guy down and disallow the breakaway? Or do I let him go in and get the shot on the goaltender?
Trevor Burgess hasn't got a medal for winning the Benson and Hedges Cup yet. He was one of the few players that weren't here last year. 3 out, 3 in it was in the summer for Ayr Scottish Eagles. So he particularly will want to win tonight. Face-off in centre ice, neutral territory. Nottingham still ahead. They've won 18-13 so far. This is Colsar. It's now 4-on-4. Nottingham will have a power play coming up, not for too long though. Leach for Mitchell. Colsar was driving towards the net, just managed to get a little shot away, blocked though by Riendo. They're coming forward, enjoying the open spaces of the Sheffield Arena. We're not too far from the middle of this second period. It's still 1-1, 4-on-4. An important section of the game coming up. Another shot, and another one just blocked there from Jamie Leach before he could get it away. And here is Ayr now. It could be 3-on-1 here. It's Purdy coming through, trying to throw off the defenseman and then pass it to Bow. Didn't work out, and all of a sudden it's Nottingham back down the other end. It's 1-on-2. Haddon trying to get past his man. Schuler held him up. The pass back out in front. Still in that zone though. Bishop kept it in. Important to do that. Got the shot. Nottingham still have possession. Carpenter. He's back out on the ice. They now have the power play, the Nottingham Panthers. They're the ones now trying to get themselves in front for the first time in this game. Ayr quite happy just to dump the puck back down the other end. There's no icing because they're a man short.
Interesting combination. Steve Carpenter being moved up into the forward position by Mike Blaisdell on that power play. I'm assuming first physical presence out there in front of the net.
Garden. 80 and Zakuski are out there, 80 right in front of the net, but they're doing a good enough job so far. The power play will be coming up, will be ending shortly. And still no power play goals so far this evening. Plenty of action, plenty of excitement. Save there by Riendo. One shot each on the power plays in that section of play. That's 2 shots overall for Nottingham on the power play now this evening. 1 for Ayr, but so far no power play goals, 1 goal apiece.
Well, we saw a very quick start by the Ayr Scottish Eagles to the second period, but I now see a bit of a momentum change in favor of the Nottingham Panthers now. They're starting to get the legs moving a little bit.
Another penalty is being called, though. It's going to be the Nottingham Panthers short-handed again. They'll have to test out their penalty killing.
Well, all kinds of bodies in the Ayr territory there. You've even got Benson Riendo. He's out of his net, not happy with it. Jeff Bowes, former Nottingham Panther. He's one of the guys that has played and won 2 cup finals. And he's a fierce competitor. He's got a great reputation. There's Darcy Lowen. What does he do well? Boy, he finishes his checks off. And he's making the Ayr Scottish Eagles pay on that one. And there's nothing worse than going straight into that barrier. Boy, baby, that one hurts.
Well, Darcy Lowen's going to get 2 + 10 for checking from behind. There's going to be a penalty on Ayr as well.
Well, that's the very call that Kurt Kleinendorf was concerned about. And I suppose to a certain extent it was a discretionary call, but you got Darcy Lowen going into the penalty box. He's got the 2 + 10 on the checking from behind.
And in fact, they opened the penalty bench for the Ayr Scottish Eagles, but then Mike Rowe didn't call a penalty. So this is going to be an opportunity now. Darcy Lowen is going to sit out, of course, his 10-minute penalty as well. It's just going to be 2 minutes on the power play. But Darcy Lowen, nicknamed the Chainsaw, Rookie of the Year when he was in the NHL. He's averaged over 3 minutes a game, penalties during his career. And, well, it's no surprise that he's found his way into the penalty box early in his career in Britain, I suppose. But you could see he's a player that really does get stuck in and involved.
Well, looks like they're going to need another player in the penalty box, but there's our Ayer's power play performance. 13.9%, 10 goals on 72 opportunities.
Jamie Leach, the captain for Nottingham, is going to serve the 2 minutes. The 2 minutes that Nottingham will be short-handed. Darcy Lowen will have to serve the 10 minutes then for his personal penalty, which won't affect the strength of the teams out on the ice, but could be important in terms of the fact that Darcy Lowen has been fairly impressive in this game so far. Leaves Nottingham's coach Mike Blaisdell with 1 less option for the remainder of this period. Ayer's power play so far this evening. They got no shots on goal the first time, 1 shot the second time, although they did move the puck much better last time. What can they do? Can they get themselves a power play goal to put themselves back in front?
Somewhat of a traditional approach here being applied by the Ayr Scottish Eagles. They're trying to get a guy in front of Trevor Robbins, trying to cause a bit of confrontation there. Don't let this guy see the puck, because that's the way they feel they're going to be most effective, especially once they get the puck in the Nottingham territory.
Bauber, got to get out in front. Not everybody quite in position as far as Ayr were concerned. Now, though, they are doing so. 2 players on the blue line. This is Wolf. His shot was closed down. Garden and Webber making sure they got to the man as quickly as they could. Back to Wolf again. Again he drives it in. Again the netminder does well enough. And Nottingham quite happy just to send the puck down the other end. relieving some pressure. As far as Ayr is concerned, this power play is flying by, and so far they haven't really come close to beating Robbins, I should say. Great atmosphere in here right now, though. The fans of both sides are trying to get behind their players.
Well, the Ayr Scottish Eagles a bit frustrated on this power play now in its latter stages. Of course, icing the call there, so that face-off will now go deep down into Ayr territory. Again, we see the strong support for the Ayr Scottish Eagles. These guys in these bagpipes, I'll tell you, you got to take your hats off to them. They can stay there 5 minutes, squeeze those bags, and they just keep blowing all day long.
Well, the Scottish Eagles came into this game second as far as the Benson and Hedges Cup was concerned with their power play performance, but it is the worst in the Super League. They have had problems of late scoring on the power play, and that so far has been the case this evening. This particular power play, their third of the evening, looks to have gone by as well without a goal, although they do perhaps have one last chance here. Byram is driving for the net. Young has the puck. Byram then skates out wide. This is Byram. And here is a chance here. Weaver, the new boy. Can he really make a great impact in British hockey? He couldn't get round Riendo. Good work by the former NHL netminder.
Well, Jason Weaver just arriving in this country, and he ran out of room. But on an opportunity given to him, Jamie Leach coming out of the penalty box there, and that created that one-on-one with the goaltender.
Vincent Riendo. Good save there.
Superb save. Let's see if we can have a look at it. There's a puck that comes across. You just see Jamie Leach take out that Ayr defenseman, and this creates the opportunity. I think Jason Weaver, he had the right idea. He knew which way he was going, but the poor guy ran out of room. Look at that. And of course, a good goaltender like Vince Riendo, he's going to follow that puck all the time. He's going to make the shooter make the first move.
Will the Nottingham Panthers regret that opportunity that has slipped them by? Yes, Scottish Eagles having had a little better of this second period maybe than the first period. When they took the lead, it was perhaps a little against the run of play. Let's go down and get a word from a man who's already tasted success here this afternoon. He's with Mick Rockwell.
That's right, Steve. I'm with Stan Marple, the winning coach from the Guildford Flames with the Benson and Hedges play. Stan, how did that win feel this afternoon?
Yeah, it felt really good. Telford played a very good game, and we just persevered in the last period there. They had a lot of shots, but Jamie Organ played well, and it's great to get a big victory under our belts.
You stuck around for the Cup final. What do you think of this game?
Oh, great hockey, end-to-end. There's sure a big jump from our league to this league. It's very obvious tonight.
Who's your money on?
Nottingham's looking pretty strong. I have to go with Blazer.
Thanks a lot, Mark.
Jim's going to kill me for that one.
Well, Stan Marple might have his favours on Nottingham at the moment as far as the rest of this game is going to be going, but I really wouldn't like to call it at the moment. There's a spare stick there at the moment. Eventually it's picked up by the Scottish Eagles forward. John Parko turns back into the zone because Nottingham still have possession inside their own zone. Now they clear it out. Haddon. 80 was impeded on the other side of the blue line. Now there is 80 behind, looking for a way to get it out in front. Comes off a skate. Oh, and Zukuski. Bit of wrestling there from Zukuski. Referee not interested in that either. Now DeCosta and Parker having a tussle. Mike Rowe again keeps his arm down. He allows that one to go too. Randall Webber getting behind the Ayr defence just for a moment, but good recovery from the Ayr Scottish Eagles.
One of the things we're very much seeing is with that red line missing there, boy, you can see the transition happening all the time from defense to offense. These defensemen moving that puck up so very well. You've really got to make sure you've got that high guy covered.
Has to be said that Mike Rowe was a big, tough player in his time, and he's quite happy to let a few things go in a game, to let it flow.
Oh, I think so. He's got a good feeling. He's one of the referees, as you said, Steve, that has played the game before, and I feel that that helps. You know, and especially in a big game like this, you're going to kind of put your whistle in your pocket a little bit because you want these players to let the game be decided on the ice.
Bauber just teeing up for the slap shot, came off Mitchell's stick. goes into the crowd. 5:28 left on the second period. No goals in this period so far. Nottingham 1, Ayr 1. And the crowd of over 8,000, just at the moment they've stopped making all of their noise, and they're intensely absorbed in this game as well. It's exciting, but it's absorbing too.
It is, you know, the Sheffield Arena is one of the facilities in Britain, though, that is very vocal. Once it's full, boy, it is very loud, and it certainly feels on the players. They can appreciate that, and that makes them give that extra little bit of effort.
Robbins caught it, let it go, tries to get Nottingham going forward. This is Leach. Colsar will chase that one into the corner, being held up just a little bit by the stick of Bauber. Leach trying to get it out. Weaver, who had that great chance a few moments ago. The one really big chance of this second period. Riendo was doing the save on that occasion, and he's waiting now to see if he'll be called into action again. His defence keeping him well protected at the moment, but Nottingham still around that net, trying to get around. There's another player hauled to the ground, and this time the referee will make the call. Colsar goes down, and Burgess is not particularly happy with that call.
Well, I personally felt it was a question of time before something was going to happen there. Nottingham Panthers so dominant in that offensive zone, doing a great job, Steve. Look at this, keeping the puck deep, and again, Colsar driving for the net. Rebounds happen as they do. Colsar still driving. Burgess, he's got to play physical. He's got to pull Colsar down, and of course, that puts him in the penalty box and puts the Nottingham Panthers on the power play.
Less than 5 minutes to go in this second period. Now would be a time for the Nottingham Panthers to get a goal, a power play goal that would put them in front. Holding was the call. Haddon will go in with Byram. He's the big man for the Scottish Eagles on these occasions to try and win the face-off.
Well, the more I see of Greg Haddon, when he gets that puck out there, Steve, he is exciting to watch. You can see he's got so much composure. He's got a lot of confidence when he plays the puck, and you can see that he creates scoring opportunities.
Save there. Greg Haddon is more of a playmaker, I suppose, but really sprang to life this season with 5 goals in one game and is leading the scoring charts this season. Player of the month for October, Greg Haddon, but he is more of a goal maker than a goal scorer.
Well, you know, when you're hot, and when it looks to offense, you've got to look to Greg Haddon, and when they had that combination going with him and Steve Roberts, who is now injured, boy, I'll tell you, they're dynamite. Looks like he's got a bit of a nick out there. He maybe picked up a bit of an errant high stick, but he should be okay. He's going to go back in. Let's hope it doesn't bleed. And obviously, they'll have to pull him off.
It's going to be Haddon going in once again. Mike Blaisdell looking on. Hard to read what's going on behind that face there.
That's a great statistic about the Blazer, eh? He's one of the guys that scored the most goals. I spoke to him about that before the start of the game, and he said he felt a little bit rusty in the first game, but he says the second game, he says, I was loose, I felt good, and he says I had some scoring opportunities as well.
And then he got a big check into the boards and thought, maybe I'm getting a bit old for this.
Yeah, welcome back to the real world, eh, Blazer? But what a great player he was in his time.
I think it was the Braxton Bees. Oh, this is an opportunity here. Ady couldn't quite get it to go where he wanted it to go. Ady turning it back around again. Nottingham Panthers on the power play, don't forget here. They've still got over a minute of this power play opportunity in the second period. 4 minutes of that remaining. Ayr, though, would take the opportunity to clear now. And here's a chance for them. Nottingham Panthers defenseman getting back quickly there and doing well. They've got the puck back again, Nottingham. Colsar on the rush. Colsar just turning it in. That's Jason Weaver, formerly of, just very recently of Grand Rapid Griffins. Weaver out again. Berta will drive it back in, and that's a goal by Becca Berta, his second of the game. The netminder wouldn't have seen it. And the Nottingham Panthers have got themselves in front for the first time. They lead 2-1.
Well, I felt the Nottingham Panthers on this power play have been very, very effective. They've done an awful lot of hard work down low. And this is where this is created. Berta, they use him on the power play because he's got that big shot. He's a big, strong guy. And boy, does he let this baby rip. All kinds of action in front of Vince Riendo, and it just goes over his shoulder to give the Nottingham Panthers their second goal.
11th goal is second of this game. The Nottingham Panthers fans love that. Jason Weaver and Paul Adey were the assists on that goal, so Jason Weaver has got his first point in British ice hockey.
The power play goal there, but you know, Steve, the Nottingham Panthers, I felt they started slow in this second period, and I think that's got a lot to do with the fact that they've got a much bigger bench here this evening, I should say, and it takes these guys a little bit more time to try and get themselves in the game. Before they were just playing with 3 defensemen.
Well, now will they have their momentum up for the next 3 minutes of this second period? Remember when Ayr took the lead in the first period, it took Nottingham just 23 seconds to get straight back on level terms. That power play goal has put Nottingham ahead, and now it's up to Ayr to try and get themselves back into the game. What can they do? 3 players on the forecheck. One goal from 3 attempts from the Nottingham power play. Ayr have had 3 power play opportunities as well, and they didn't score. Is that going to be the deciding factor in this game, I wonder? Nottingham getting in there again. The bagpipes are playing, but at the moment it's a lament for the Ayr Scottish Eagles. Or is it a call to battle, a rallying cry? There's going to be another penalty, a delayed penalty, another opportunity for Ayr to go on the power play. There's a little bit of pushing and shoving. An elbows call has been made. Nottingham Panthers are going to have to do more penalty killing shortly.
Well, Scott Young involved there, Simon Hunt and Zakuski pairing off with Scotty Young, but on this play where the penalty's called to Steve Roberts, this is an open hitting defenseman's dream. Look at this, baby, because DaCosta just stands Viet up, and that allows Carpenter to just move right into the plan. Oh, wow, that baby hurts.
Steve Carpenter picks up another 2 penalty minutes. Elbows the call this time. He's sitting there alongside Darcy Lowen. He's on the left of Darcy Lowen. Steve Carpenter can't miss him with all that hair.
I'll tell you, Steve Carpenter is the best open ice hitter without a doubt in this league this season, and he does that so very well. He got his elbows up a bit on this play, boy, but if you're going to cross the blue line in the offensive zone, you're going to pay for that, especially if the defenseman stands up, and I'll tell you, that's exactly what happened.
The Nottingham Panthers took the lead in this second period with a power play. Now the Ayr Scottish Eagles, on the second minor drawn by Steve Carpenter of this game, have the opportunity to get straight back on level terms. 2:23 left on the period. The next 2 minutes of it should see Ayr Scottish Eagles going all out with a man advantage to try and get past Trevor Robbins for the second time in this game.
Well, Mike Blaisdell going with a very usual partnership there. Randall Weber, Brent Bobick up front. And of course, these guys are like buzzsaws. You use that word, Steve, but very truly in this occasion, these guys will be skating. They will allow the Ayr Scottish Eagles no time at all on that puck.
Young with the shot, looking to get it in that crowded area in front of the net. Nottingham Panthers just clearing down the other end of the ice. For them, it's the case, I think, of making sure they just stay ahead till the end of this period.
On this power play, they always throw a guy in deep, force him to come out. The other guy's high, picks up the winger or the forward that's coming loose into play. That's the way the Panthers like to set up to try and alleviate the Ayr Scottish Eagles are coming out of their zone.
30 seconds more gone by now, and the Ayr Scottish Eagles power play still isn't quite clicking. They've not had a shot on goal in this 4th power play opportunity of the night for them. This is Byron. Being held up in the corner by Dubois. Getting it around the boards, just kept in the zone. That was very important to do that. Halfway through the power play. Nottingham's penalty killing still working well. They haven't conceded a goal on a power play against the Ayr Scottish Eagles so far this season. Nottingham Panthers, this is their 3rd game between the two sides. Now there's an opportunity to Bauer. Oh, he threw the netminder off. Great move to throw off Robbins, but he couldn't get it in. And now the referee blows up
Looks like Eric Dubois, who's down on the ice there in front, and of course he looked like he was injured. So Mike Rowe, the official here this evening, blew the play down. And that was a timely whistle because Air was right ready to pounce. Robbins here one-on-one with Balba. The move's made. You got to say, Balba had an opportunity there. He got Trevor Robbins going the other way, but unfortunately he just couldn't finish it off.
The puck just rolled off the stick of Dino Bauer. There's Eric Dubois, a newcomer this season for the Nottingham Panthers. He was playing in Germany last year, and he'll recover in 53 seconds time. He'll have a nice quarter of an hour break to get over that big hit as well. In the meanwhile, 30 seconds left on the power play. Nottingham Panthers 2-1 up, and they win the draw. Corey Bolio, though, is caught in possession of the puck there. And the Scottish Eagles still have possession. The man out front. They can't get the shot on goal, though. Still can't do so. They weren't moving the puck there, and that's the price they paid. It's back down the other end. The power play is almost up. Less than 30 seconds left on the period. The Scottish Eagles looking for an equalizer. It's on the netting. It comes off again. It's still moving freely, the puck. The power play is up, but the Nottingham Panthers still under real pressure here from Wolf's shot. Still can't get away. Robin's stick. Then it's out of that zone. They can breathe a little easily. The second period coming to an end. 2 goals in the first period, just 1 in the second period, and the 1 goal in the second period scored by Pekka Berta, his second of the game. Mike Blaisdell, the Nottingham Panthers coach, who's coached his side to winning this trophy twice before, will go into the third period with his side ahead.
Let us quickly go ringside to savour some of the action with Nick Rothwell.
Dominic, I'll tell you what, the atmosphere in here is great. And who said a Panther had to be black, right? We've seen a cartoon about it. What's your name?
Andrew.
Andrew, and what's with the Pink Panther costume today?
I just thought it'd be a bit of fun, and it'll get the crowd going, and just have a good laugh.
And obviously it has been. I mean, you guys are winning 2-1 so far.
Brilliant, fantastic. That's the way it's going to stay.
Okay, well, good luck for the third.
Thank you.
Only one team has ever gone into the third period in the B&H Cup final trailing and come back to win it. And if that is something which dispirits Ayr, well, it shouldn't, because they're the only team that have done it, and they're the team that did it last year. They were 1-0 behind going into the third period against the Cardiff Devils, and they got goals, including a winner from Jeff Hode, which gave Jim Lynch's side the Benson Hedges Cup last year. This is their third successive final. They'd lost to Nottingham the previous year, and Jim Lynch knows that his side are more than capable, Bob, of getting themselves back into this game, but an early goal would be crucial.
Well, you've hit the nail on the head. It's an early goal, and that will certainly change the momentum in the game. If that early goal goes in favor of the Ayr Scottish Eagles and Mr. Jim Lynch, they're back into this hockey game, and they've got the momentum in their favor. On the other hand, if it goes to the Nottingham Panthers, it's a bit of a tough hill to climb.
Overtime and penalties withstanding, we should in 20 minutes time know who's going to win the first trophy of the season. The first trophy of the 1998-99 season. The Ayr Scottish Eagles won it last year. Can they hold on to it? They're the side that are going to be going all out, I'm sure, at the start of this third period, because they're trailing by 2-1, having led early in this game. Nottingham Panthers with injuries on their bench, don't forget, but they do have more players to call on in this third period than the Ayr Scottish Eagles. Just kept in there for Ayr. That's Hode. Hode who got the winning goal last year. Now, Haddon coming forward for Nottingham, their first attack of this third period. Zakuski, he's held up by Schuler. Matt Hoffman playing it in, no problem there for Trevor Robbins. Some big saves, been beaten once in this game so far. Weaver goes to the ice. Play continues. The Ayr Scottish Eagles. It's been such a quick, open game, not too many stoppages. It's been very intense. We've had a few fights. It's been tough, but it's certainly been an excellent game of ice hockey for a final.
Well, there's Caribbean of the Ayr Scottish Eagles, having formerly played in Swindon. And he's got some big goals for his club this year. 3 in that challenge round, but nonetheless, he's one of the guys that Jim Lynch very much counts on in crucial situations.
Face off just on the top of the circle to the left of Robin's goal. Nottingham Panthers just clearing their zone. And now Jonathan Weaver will chase all the way in. Burgess gets the touch though without too much of a problem. Icing, the call goes back down to the other end. Face off in the Nottingham zone. Well, there's your Eagle that you've been mentioning. We found it.
Yeah, Ernie the Eagle, I think is what he's called. And that guy's got all the moves, man. He's got all the moves.
Some Nottingham fans there, Panthers on their shirts. Well-supported crowd. There's the cheerleaders getting them going, but really they don't need any getting going in this game because the game is great. The prize that's up for grabs is a first-class prize. And both these two sides want to win it. No one's ever managed to retain it. It's interesting, though, that Cardiff were in 3 successive finals. Nottingham were then in 3 successive finals. And now Ayr have been in 3 successive finals. But nobody's ever managed to hold on to it 2 years in a row. Can the Ayr Scottish Eagles do that? Or will the Nottingham Panthers be the first team to win it 3 times? They've won it twice before, in '94 and '96.
Well, you know, when you get into finals and competitions of this nature, when hardware is on the line, guys give it their all. And, you know, I think there's a certain amount of luck to winning in a final. There's Mike Blaisdell. You can see how intense he gets behind that bench there. And I was saying to him, I asked him if he knew everybody tonight that was on his bench because he's got guys that he's sort of never seen before. But the old Blazer always tries to bring her out of the back hip pocket, and he's such a great coach.
Well, Jason Weaver flew in on Thursday. Darcy Lowen flew in just a little afterwards, and the two of them have had a big impact on this game so far. Weaver's got a point on the second goal. He had an assist on Pekka Virta's second goal for the Nottingham Panthers.
I think it's essential to point out as well, you know, that the game of ice hockey is essentially a simple game, and you just got to do the basic things, and you can be very effective. And that's what both of these new players are trying to do, and it's certainly helping the club out.
Darcy Lowen, incidentally, is still serving the 10-minute misconduct, or 10-minute penalty that he got. He got a 2+10, didn't he, earlier on in the game? And Darcy Lowen is still sitting part of that. The save there is made, and it comes out in front of Riendo, and there was nobody there for the Nottingham Panthers to turn it in. No one driving to the net. A penalty being called here, though. Delayed penalty. The Ayr Scottish Eagles moving the puck. This is Nottingham's chance to touch it. And Darcy Lowen has finished his 10-minute misconduct. He'll be coming back out onto the ice. But as Simon Hunt is getting a bit physical out of your picture as well.
And it's Simon Hunt that's going to go to the penalty box. Let's see if we can pick the play up. And it's deep in this zone here. It's Angelo Cantanero. He goes into the corner with Simon Hunt, and a bit of a reaction play. Of course, Mike Rowe following it fully, and Simon Hunt gets the slashing call.
They've yet to score on the power play against Nottingham this season. They've yet to score this evening on the power play against Nottingham, that's for sure, and this is going to be their 5th opportunity to do so, the Ayr Scottish Eagles. And this is the time when they really do have to score because they're trailing by 2 goals to 1. They have the man advantage. The Nottingham penalty killing, which has been so successful, especially in this competition. The box you can see there doing the job at the moment. Ayr Scottish Eagles looking to set themselves back up again. Montanari with the puck now on the boards. Gets it along for Wolf. Always the player that they use to drive the puck in towards the netminder to see what comes of it. Montanari again, the player wide. They'll have to skate back.
Well, Caribbean there for the Ayr Scottish Eagles. He stood in the old danger zone right down low in front of Trevor Robbins. And boy, he had to pay that price, but that's the job that you've got to do if you're going to get a goal and support your team.
And here's an opportunity now for Greg Haddon. It's 2-on-2 here. They've got an extra player coming. Almost a 3-on-2 for Nottingham there for a moment. Bishop, though, just couldn't quite get a hold of the puck.
Well, there's a perfect opportunity for the Panthers. The puck carrier, you had Randall Weber. He had to be the guy that was driving for the net on that play, Steve, because Mike Bishop was a guy coming in as a trailer. But again, they're doing a good job defensively because they had guys back.
But still, the power play not really bringing the opportunities that it ought to for the Scottish Eagles. Oh, it was almost tipped in to the danger area by a Nottingham stick there. Burgess this time will drive it in, just bouncing up in front of the netminder, but Robbins made the save. Back down the other end, a relieving pass there for the Nottingham Panthers. Just happy to get it down the other end because the power play only has 15 seconds left on it. The Air fifth power play of the evening. Still a chance that they can make something of it here. Burgess, blocked by Jason Weaver's stick, and Nottingham can come forward again here. They've got 3 players coming forward. The power play is up, another one goes by. That's 9 power plays in total against Nottingham this season, and they've yet to score on one.
Well, defensively speaking, especially in a big game, you see a lot of these guys, especially when there's shots coming from the point. They'll go down, try and block the shot. It's another way of saying, I'm just going to contribute that little bit extra to try and help my team win.
Good work by Weaver, just got it in front. There was nobody there. Jamie Leach had gone into the high slot area instead of going for the net. Nottingham Panthers. They have possession, they have the lead in this game. The Scottish Eagles must know that if they were to concede a goal now, their opportunity to win this cup would be so much diminished. The next goal for them, and this game would be absolutely wide open. The Nottingham Panthers will know that too, as Riendo just covers up the puck.
I'm always impressed by Vincent Riendo. There's the power plays. 1 for 3 for the Panthers, and again, the Air Scottish Eagles failing to score on 5 opportunities in this game.
Face-off from the Nottingham, in the air zone rather. Nottingham, some Air Scottish Eagles fans trying to lift their side because we have less than 15 minutes of this game to go unless we find ourselves going into overtime, and that's entirely possible. Just the 1 goal between these 2 sides at the moment. The Air Scottish Eagles, who came from behind in the 3rd period last year with 2 goals, are going to need to do the same again if they're to win it this time around. Parker gets it off the boards. Air Scottish Eagles with Purdy, not seeing too much ice time. He's just come back from injury, Dennis Purdy.
Of course, as you were talking about, Steve.
Well, here we are. This is Weber. He's got a man there as well. That was Pekka Berta, hoping that he could have got his hat-trick there if the puck had come out to him.
Yeah, getting back to injury, Steve, and also missing Sam Gerlow here tonight. I certainly feel that that's hurt the Air Scottish Eagles because offensively, he's always very creative.
Well, Sam Grollo is such an impressive player, of course. He's got the most assists in the Benson Hedges Cup competition this year. In fact, you look at the point scoring table, the top 5 players in the scoring charts this year are all Air Scottish Eagles. In fact, they've got 8 in the top 28 and just 2 Nottingham players in that top 28 players this year. Possession so far in this period, as you would expect, Air trailing, having to chase the game. It's been Air who've had the lion's share of the possession, but it's the Panthers who have the game at the moment, 2-1 ahead, trying to come forward, looking for that goal that would give them that breathing space. Montanari, 2 players driving in there, but it's picked up by Garden. Garden coming forward, has no support.
I personally feel, Steve, possession is an interesting statistic, but nonetheless, it still reverts back to quality of scoring opportunities.
Offside the call there. Let's go to ringside and join Nick Rothwell.
Guys, I'm down here with Nottingham Panthers, Steve Roberts. Steve, I know the injury's not that good right now, is it? What's going on?
Well, I just had my surgery 2 weeks ago on my shoulder, and things are starting to look good. Hopefully I can make it back for the playoffs, but you know, it's a long 4 months
I know you like talking with me, but I'm sure you'd rather be out there, eh?
Oh, definitely. You never want to sit back and watch your players, you know, do the job for you when you know you can be out there. But, you know, that's all I can do right now, so I just hope them the best.
Thanks a lot, Steve.
Thank you.
Well, if Steve Roberts is back for the playoffs, Mike Blaisdell will have to start leaving a player out of his lineup every time. The shot coming in from the Scottish Eagles, that's a problem down the line. Right now, the problem is how to make sure Trevor Robbins isn't beaten again tonight, and then the Nottingham Panthers will be the winners of the first trophy for this season.
Well, you know, getting back to Steve Roberts, I know that he's dearly missed by the Nottingham Panthers, and the reason why I say that is in my opinion, he is one of the very true natural goal scorers in the Super League this season. That guy can certainly put the puck in the net.
Time flying by. I'm sure Jim Lynch keeps looking at the clock and hoping there's more time left on the game than there is. Less than 12 minutes left on this game so far in the third period. 3 goals so far. If you've just joined us, this is how the scoring went. In the first period, it was the Scottish Eagles against the run of play who took the lead. St. Pierre, the scorer. Just 23 seconds later, though, Pekka Berta got the goal that tied it at 1-1. And then in the second period, another goal for the Flying Finn. 2-1 to Nottingham. That's how it stands. Face-off right on the blue line, on the edge of the air zone. Nottingham Panthers skating back. We get to the situation now, don't we, where the Scottish Eagles are going to have to pile on more and more pressure. There's almost an opportunity for them there. More and more pressure and play the sort of percentage game, take risks and hope they don't get caught.
That's right, and when you do that, your defense suffers, and you know, that can cause problems, but nonetheless, it has to be the Scottish Eagles that takes the play to the Nottingham Panthers.
Well, they haven't given up yet, have they? He's a bit calmer about the whole thing, but he's seen his side lose once and lose out in the European Hockey League this season. They didn't lose too many times last year, the Scottish Eagles. They got used to winning everything. Scott Young there with the long red hair, he could be important as a defenseman that likes to get forward.
Well, he's a guy, he's an offensive defenseman, arguably maybe the best offensive defenseman in the league, and he can open a game up. And the thing about it is when you got these guys coming forward, they're awful hard to pick up because at one stretch, they're behind you, and the next thing you know, they're in front of you, and they're always such great skaters.
Well, once again, the tension of the occasion, quite understandable that they are quite tense at this point with just 1 goal in the hockey game and the first trophy of the season up for grabs in just over 11 minutes' time. It's not surprising that there is a little bit of pushing and shoving there, but it's to the detriment of a couple of players because they're going to have to sit out now. It's one each side. Parko and Bert are the 2 players that have got roughing calls, but 2 minutes for both sides. And so we're not going to have a power play out there, but 2 minutes for Parko and 2 minutes there for Pekka Berta, who's got 2 goals and now a couple of penalty minutes to go on his stats for this game.
Well, roughing's a call. Probably uncharacteristic from 2 players to sit in the penalty box, but nonetheless, it has been a very physical game, and guys aren't going to let off. Jim Lynch going to dig deep into the old bag of tricks to try and find out what he's got to have happen here to get that goal back for the Scottish Eagles.
We're playing 4-on-4, nice big rink here as well, so there are some spaces out there to be exploited if you've got some fast players.
Well, we would have to say that very much attributes to the way that the Scottish Eagles like to play. They got these guys that are quick out there, and they can certainly make things happen.
Colsar, the former Toronto Maple Leaf, just checking back. Bishop with a shot, almost in. Weaver, can he get a goal? Can't. Saved by Riendo. Big save, big save. Didn't he do well?
I'll tell you what, he had him at his mercy, didn't he, Steve? Riendo comes up with a huge save. All kinds of time here. The Panthers just putting the puck to the net. Again, the rebound. Causing problems. And you can see Weaver, he just looks at it. He cannot believe it. That Riendo has come up with a hot glove again to keep the Scottish Eagles in this game.
Jason Weaver wearing 2. That's the shirt that Mike Blaisdell wore when he made his temporary comeback a couple of weeks ago. He's going to wear 25 once they've got his shirt sorted out. He's only just in the country and he looks very impressive, doesn't he? Jason Weaver, they tried to sign him in the summer and no wonder, really.
Well, I know that, you know, he played in Grand Rapids in the International Hockey League, and, you know, the guy has got good credentials. He looks like a big, strong fella, you know, and that will very much suit the game plan of the Nottingham Panthers.
Dubois went past Young, went past Wolf as well. Tried to set it up at the point for Bishop, but the turnover, and almost a pass through for Montemari. Let's go back down and rejoin Nick Rothwell.
Steve, just to let you know, Brent Bobick, he's gone off the bench for a little bit. He's gone into the change room for a bit of treatment. We know he's had problems with fingers on his right hand. That's the top hand of his stick. And he's just gone off just to get retaped. But he will 99% be back.
Thank you, Nick. Brent Bobick playing with that finger injury. Simon Hunt has been playing recently. I'm sure it's almost recovered now, but he was playing for quite a while with a broken thumb, Simon Hunt. The Nottingham Panthers bench may be full, but they are really rather patched up in places.
They are, and you know, they'll miss Bobick, especially if they have to kill a penalty, because I know that Mike Blaisdell likes to use him in those specialty team situations because he's a good, prolific skater. That's a lot of pressure on the puck carrier.
Nottingham Panthers clearing it. There's Scott Young. We were talking about the big impact that he might have to play in this game. Wheels round in the circle. Burgess, Nottingham making sure they get players up on the forecheck, and it works. They get the puck back. Haddon gives it to Eddie. Eddie just dumps it in so that the Nottingham Panthers can go for the line change, while Scott Young thinks about getting air going forward, thinking about that goal that they're trailing in this game. Steve Carpenter with a couple of penalties in the game so far this evening. There he is once again with his long hair behind him. Mark Colsar, he's a big player too. Finding the stick of Weaver. Weaver showing that he can battle it out on the boards. Schuler, though, in the end came out on top in as much as Weaver couldn't keep up with the puck. Bauber could be important with his stick handling and his speed for the Scottish Eagles. We're into the final 10 minutes of this game. Oh, Colsar took a little while to get rid of that one right in front of Robbins, who probably saw his heartbeat go up a few beats per minute there.
Probably not as high as Mike Blaisdell's, but you don't like to fool around with that puck, especially in front of the net, because any little thing can happen to it. But Mark Colsar, he's a guy that's got a lot of experience.
Trying to turn it out there, Brent Bobick with his finger presumably sorted out now. More tape on there, he's back out there on the ice. No one can quite get a hold of it. There's a hooking call, and the netminder goes off because we have a delayed penalty again. There's going to be a power play coming up for the Scottish Eagles. In the meanwhile, they know they can't concede a goal because the penalty will be called as soon as Nottingham touch the puck. Well, Wolf will chase it in, but there is the touch. And there's Bobick. He's got more time to sort his fingers out now because he's going in to sit 2 minutes for tripping, I would imagine, the call from Mike Rowe.
Well, we have a look at it there. The old stick in the midsection. And Brent Bobick, questionary call, only in terms of what it was to be, but certainly Mike Rowe has called that on hooking. And that could be a bit of a double whammy for the Panthers because, as I just mentioned before, you usually like to use Brent Bobick in penalty-killing scenarios.
Well, a little higher than I originally thought with his stick there. Hooking the call by Mike Rowe. Penalty minutes so far, Nottingham. It would be great to add up all the penalty minutes they've had in this whole tournament this year. They certainly have taken quite a few, and the penalty killing, we've talked about it over and over, has been so very impressive. 1 in 50 goals conceded on time short-handed at one point. 50 times short-handed, 1 goal conceded. Slipped of late, 5 in the last 15 games, but tonight it's been rock solid. Remember, the Scottish Eagles, this their 10th opportunity of the season, 10th opportunity with a man advantage against Nottingham. They still haven't scored against them on the power play this season. They really do need the power play now, though. 7:53 left on the 1998 Benson Hedges Cup final. There's Corey Bolio. Nottingham leading by 2-1, and they're running out of opportunities to get the equalizer.
Well, the game's full of big hits, and here's 2 of the heavy hitters. That being Scott Young and Corey Bolio, and I'll tell you, it's not easy to knock over 17 stone, but both those guys go down. And there's Vince Boa waiting to try and get back on the ice. And the well-deserved rep for Corey Bolio. What an inspiration he's been to these Panthers since moving from Sheffield.
Well, his only goal, but he missed so much of this season. But the problem now, here's Nottingham coming away. This is Weaver again. Can he score this time? No, again. He's stopped by the netminder. It wasn't such a clear-cut chance as the one he had in the second period. Bauba. Stopped by Dubois on the blue line. Just left his shoulder in the way there, so Bauba was impeded. Halfway through this sixth power play of the evening for the Scottish Eagles. They just really haven't been able to set up camp at any stage in the Nottingham Panthers zone. They've had 3 shots on goal in the 5 previous power plays. They really haven't made it work to their advantage.
Well, much of the same medicine, though. You again see Nottingham Panthers applying constant pressure to the puck carrier. They're going to force the Scottish Eagles to move that puck.
Parko trying to find a way through on his own, gets the shot away. It's blocked by Bolio. He then just gets it out of the ice. 20 seconds left on the power play. Less than 7 left on the game. Nottingham Panthers looking to win this cup for the 3rd time. The Nottingham Panthers fans feel a bit tense at the moment, as well they might, as Parko comes forward again. Came off the stick of Bolio once more. Still though, the puck in that danger zone. Parko banged on the shot, and Nottingham can get away. Bobic is 1-on-1. Just tried to drop it. Thought Randall Webber might be just behind him. He wasn't. 80 though still has possession. 80, Webber is out there in front in the slot. Came off his skates and went away to the boards. 80 out in front once more. Now Carpenter, can he get the shot away? No, and it's a sudden turnover. And the referee missed a possible penalty there as Burgess crashed to the ice behind the play. That might have been another power play opportunity, but it's not to be. And now Jamie Leach, the captain. He puts it in low. Thought about going in for the forecheck, but wheeled off in the end. Now, Hode is in alone. Robbins comes out, doesn't make connection with the puck. The Scottish Eagles really are now going to have to throw everything, including the kitchen sink, at Trevor Robbins. This time he clutches it. Good agility, as we'd expect from such a good netminder.
Well, Trevor Robbins hangs on to that puck in this particular play, if anything but to try and let his team regroup and get their proper line combinations back on the ice. And when you're a goaltender, any little thing that you can do in that regard certainly helps your coach, but it also keeps you involved in the game. And these guys are thinkers out there, and they're like a 6th man if they're working right.
Robbins, the best netminder in this year's competition, challenged in fact only by Panthers' own backup goalie Mike Zania. Robbins has had 2 shutouts in this season's competition, not to be tonight, but made plenty of great saves, of course, in the semi-final against the Manchester Storm. Well, he's still quite in that rallying call, isn't he? The Piper isn't playing the right tune at the moment for the Scottish Eagles. The shot comes in from Schuler. Just over 5 minutes to go. The Nottingham Panthers, who won it in 94, they won it in 96. Can they win it in 98? Hoffman and Bishop up against the boards. Just over 5 minutes to go. Nottingham still ahead on shots on target, and they're ahead in this period, 5-3. So Ayr really do need to just pick themselves up, really step on the gas for the remaining 5 minutes.
Very interesting statistic, though. 5 shots to 3 in this 3rd period, giving indication that both teams are playing defensively, or certainly Nottingham is playing defensively, and they're not allowing the Scottish Eagles to try and open things up.
Well, those statistics that we had about the fact that the top 5 goal scorers in the competition all come from Ayr, the fact that Ayr are leading the way with goals in this competition this season, but yet doing so badly as Wolf gets the shot in. It's taken by Robbins, doing so poorly in Super League. I suppose that goes down to the fact that the Scottish Eagles had a good start to the season and have found goals to come by harder lately.
Here's Mark Wolf with a big shot on Trevor Robbins, but you can see, defensively speaking, you've got to try and pick your man up. You cannot let anybody loose to get that shot away, and this is one of the things that Mike Blaisdell will be concentrating on with his players.
And the action is still taking place more in the air end of the rink than it is in the Nottingham zone. That's something that's going to have to change in the last 5 minutes. If Ayr are going to take this game perhaps into overtime, could yet be time for them to get a couple of goals. Remember, they did that against Cardiff last year.
I think something that the Panthers are doing very well at the moment is they're working the tempo of this game to their satisfaction. Look at them, they just get the puck out of the zone time after time after time, and that forces the Ayr Scottish Eagles to try and regroup. They're not able to get the pressure that they so duly want.
4:20 left on the clock. Nottingham Panthers. Dieppe cannons the puck straight into Zakuski. 80 takes a tumble. Scott Young tries to dig it out. Still in that zone, now it's cleared. Taken by Bolio though, so Nottingham still very much on the offense here. They have the lead by 2-1 as we move inside the last 4 minutes of the game. Great game it's been. In fact, 2-1 last year was the lowest scoring Benson and Hedges Cup final. That's where we stand at the moment as well. Byron. Leach holding him up. Can expect plenty more big hits in the remaining 3.5 minutes on this game. Just out of that zone.
Isn't that the crucial play? That's what we're speaking about all the time. These guys just to get it outside the blue line.
Great work by Colsar up against Young there, on his knees, but he wasn't to be beaten. The Nottingham Panthers, such a great team spirit. That's what they all talk about, the great team spirit they have in their camp this year. It got them through the tough times in the semi-final against Manchester Storm. Is it going to get them into the record books as the first side to win the Benson Hedges Cup 3 times?
I think we're going to look for a lot of one-on-one coverage here by the Nottingham Panthers to very much tighten up defensively. They'll always have a guy high as well, Steve. They won't want to be outnumbered going into their own defensive zone. Watch for that.
Well, here suddenly is Randall Webber trying to get Bobic, but just offside. Bobic just strayed too far forward. Everything now is on the shoulders of the Ayr Scottish Eagles. Nottingham Panthers know that at the moment they're in the driving seat. It's Ayr Scottish Eagles who have to take the initiative. They have to do everything. They have to make something happen. The Nottingham Panthers know that they can just keep the situation as it is. Blaisdell knows he's so close to adding some more silverware to his impressive track record.
Well, this is always the toughest time for both coaches, the latter stages of the game, and how many times we've seen close matches this season decided in the last 2-3 minutes.
2:42 left on the game, a minute or so, minute and a half maybe, and Jim Lynch will be thinking about taking off his netminder, Riendo, if it stays as it is at the moment with just 1 goal between the two sides. No goals in this third period, 1 each in the first, just 1 to Nottingham in the second. 2 goals for Pakaverta that could be taking the Benson Hedges Cup back down the motorway 40 miles to Nottingham. What is Jim Lynch going to try and do, do you think, Bob? Anything that he can pull out of his sleeve, anything extra special?
Well, he's got to get his forwards moving in that offensive zone, and, you know, this is something that the Panthers have taken away from them throughout this game. But once they get themselves in the scenario where the puck is deep, and they get those forwards rolling and supporting one another, that's when they're most effective, and that's what he'll be certainly trying to do.
Grand Slam champions last year. They're the title holders, Ayr Scottish Eagles. They won't want to give up the grip on the cup. They've got just over 2 minutes to try and keep themselves in this game and take us to overtime. The Nottingham Panthers leading by 2-1. Now, AD. And it's suddenly 3-on-1 opportunity here. AD getting it across. Zakuski hadn't driven to the net, and all of a sudden, of course, with plenty of men thrown forward, Ayr looked as though they could come forward, but there were 2 defensemen back on the blue line. You just have to do the sensible thing, don't you?
Well, I'll tell you, I saw the most interesting play out there just now. Nottingham have an opportunity to score. But Greg Haddon was the deepest guy in his zone, and he was the first guy back. He was that high guy trying to play defense. That's the type of work that these guys are working to.
Minute 30, Nottingham will be quite happy to keep the puck in that corner for a little while. You saw Riendo there. You might not see him too many more times in this game because surely he'll be coming off fairly soon. He's got the indication, I think, from the bench that he's to come off next time the puck goes down to the other end of the ice. But it's not going to get down there because the Nottingham Panthers, and there goes Bobic on the forecheck. He wants to keep them in there. Bobic working hard. Less than a minute of this game to go for the Nottingham Panthers to take the trophy away from the Scottish Eagles. Riendo is skating off. The netminder is off the ice. They've got the extra skater out there now. It's in the Nottingham zone. Nottingham can always shoot the puck, get the empty net goal, which will settle it all. But the Scottish Eagles now, they're almost on a power play, as it were. They've got that man advantage. They can't lose possession, though. They have done. Can they win it back? They can. 30 seconds left to go. They're trailing. Lots of traffic in front of Robin's net. Everybody's touching it. And there, the puck is frozen. The referee blows up with 23 seconds to go. Riendo off, the extra skater on for Ayr. And it's going to be a grandstand finish now. Ayr Scottish Eagles will have the face-off in the Nottingham zone.
Well, we wonder about timeouts. There's Vincent Riendo's net. He's gone off to give that extra attacker for the Ayr Scottish Eagles. Now comes the time when both teams look to confront one another with the best that they possibly got.
Well, the noise in this rink now is quite phenomenal, if I could say it. The Panthers fans trying to just get behind their team and their players just to give them that extra boost to survive this last hurdle. I think we are going to have a timeout. It's being called by Nottingham Panthers, I think, but certainly Jim Lynch is the man that's got to somehow get his players. In fact, it was an Ayr timeout. Jim Lynch just giving the final instructions. They've got to face off in that zone. This could be the last one that they get. They've got to win the draw. They've got to get the shot on the netminder.
Most often a coach, when they call a timeout, they will have a specific play that he'll be drilling into his players at this point. He'll want that puck to be doing specific things. And Jim Lynch will have, crucially, all his right guys, but most importantly, if this is going to work, they've got to win that draw. And I would look for Sean Byram. He's the guy that does big things for him in that particular department. So let's see whether he goes out there to take this face-off.
Sean Byram, the big man. Hode is out there as well. Remember that Hode is the player that played and won with Nottingham Panthers. He's going in for it. He's got some big goals in his time. And Hode is driving in there. Didn't quite win the draw cleanly. They still got possession of the puck. The clock is ticking down. It's all action around that goal crease. There's too many bodies there, really. Can Ayr get it out in front? It is, but there's nobody there. Now, can Scott Young drive it back in? Scott Young, there's lots of sticks there. Anything could happen. Nottingham Panthers with 5 seconds to go. Get it down the ice. It doesn't matter. They're celebrating already. There is the end of the game. The Nottingham Panthers have won the trophy for the 3rd time in 6 years. And the fans and the players know how to celebrate because they've done it before. And the Nottingham Panthers, nonetheless, it's just as important to them. It's just as joyous an occasion for them this time as it was when they beat Ayr 2 years ago. They've won this one by 2 goals to 1. Despair again for the Ayr Scottish Eagles, their 3rd consecutive final. But like everybody else before them that's tried to hang on to it, they couldn't do so.
Well, you know, they gave it such a valiant effort, and we saw the pressure that they put on the Panthers right up to the final buzzer, but unfortunately, it just wasn't good enough on the occasion. But you got to admire these guys, because they come to play all the time, and they've had a very difficult run going into this game, but they still gave it their all.
The arena has red and yellow paper fluttering around it, red and yellow, the colours of the Nottingham Panthers. There's Roy Mitchell, the assistant coach, and Steve Carpenter, who picked up some penalty minutes in this game. Mike Bishop so influential throughout the course of this evening. We can get a word with a winning coach. He's with Nick Rockwell.
Thanks a lot, guys. Mike, how does that one feel? Another one.
Yeah, I guess it gets sweeter every time. I don't know. It feels great. Guys came to play. It was a hell of. I got to give Ayr credit. They made it tough all night. It was a great game. Their goalie was strong. They played hard. There were some big hits. That was a great hockey game. Real good hockey game.
I got to confess, when you beat Manchester, you ran straight onto the ice in that semi-final. Here, you just stuck your arms in the air.
Yeah, I got a bad ankle. I've fallen on the ice before. I didn't want to run out there, but it was, I mean, all credit to Ayr. Again, they're true champions, and they certainly didn't give up their trophy very easily, I'll tell you.
And of course, a couple of guys, new guys in the lineup tonight. What a performance from them to just show up and do this.
Well, they just got off a plane. Weaver especially, well, he's 26 years old. He's got young legs. He played a hell of a game. Lowen's only been on the ice for 2 weeks. He just sort of came out of retirement, so we didn't use him that much. But that Weaver played very well. I was very impressed.
So you got to be the most winningest coach now in the Benson Hedges campaign now, Mike. How does that one feel?
Feels great. I'm gonna go smoke some cigarettes now.
Thanks a lot, Mike.
Thanks, Nick.
Well, my Blaisdell delighted with the result and of the influence of the new guys who joined the Nottingham Panthers and made such an impact on this final. The Nottingham Panthers, the 1998 Benson and Hedges Cup winners. It's a hat-trick for them. We're back with the thoughts of Kirk Vanendorst and Don McKee and the Cup presentation after this.
Well, just collecting his medal at the moment. Trevor Robbins, he deserves an extra big one, I think. He's put off some absolutely tremendous saves. Jeff DaCosta going up to collect his medal as well. The cup will be lifted shortly for the third time by the Nottingham Panthers. That is a record. And incidentally, they're only the second team that have won this competition, having lost 3 games along the way. Sheffield Steelers is the only other side who've done that. But it was a great performance, Tom.
It was a great performance. You know, the guys dug deep, and you know, it's one of these things, you know, you gotta say everybody's out there, even though guys are injured and that sort of thing, they still dress for critical games like this, don't they? Because this is the important part of it.
Brent Bobick is the last player who picks up his medal. Brent Bobick with his fingers taped up for this game. He's been struggling with his hand. Here now comes Mike Blaisdell, the man who in '94 played and scored a hat-trick as player coach when the Nottingham Panthers won this trophy for the first time. He's going to get himself a bottle of champagne from Jim Elkins of Benson and Hedges. He's such a great coach. He was a great player. And since that win in '94, they've won it again. They beat Ayr in '96. This is history repeating itself. They've beaten Ayr again, and Jamie Leach is going to go up and get the cup shortly.
Well, Mike Blaisdell is so admired in Nottingham.
And here comes Jamie Leach, the man who leads the way in the Super League era for scoring goals in the Benson Hedges Cup competition. And Jamie Leach takes the cup, the Benson Hedges Cup winners for 1998, the Nottingham Panthers. Jamie Leach, as proud could be, he calls his team to come round him as he receives that cup from Jim Elkins. The champagne is sprayed. It's a champagne moment for Jamie Leach and the Nottingham Panthers.
I'll certainly say, Steve, it doesn't come any sweeter than that. That's most certainly the case. Now watch all these guys get a grip onto that cup and get that feeling, because, boys, that's what teamwork is all about.
The Nottingham Panthers have the best record in the Benson Hedges Cup as Graham Garden shows it off to the Nottingham Panthers fans to rapturous award. Rapturous applause as Brent Bobick now gets it. I hope his fingers are feeling strong. I don't want him to drop that cup.
I tell you, after you win a big game like this, Steve, you forget all about your injuries. Nobody knows anything about it.
So the Nottingham Panthers enjoying their hat-trick victory in the Benson and Hedges Cup final. It's only been running for 7 years. The boys done well, didn't they? Our next ice hockey on Sky Sports is a Super League game for you. It's at the John Knight Leisure Sport Complex. It's live on Sky Sports 2 from 7:30. Bracknell Bees against the Cardiff Devils. If the Devils really want to maintain their charge for the title, then they will feel they have to win that one. Meanwhile, back here at the Sheffield Arena, a great night for Nottingham. Well done to them, well done to Mike Blaisdell. Nottingham Panthers, the 1998 Benson and Hedges Cup winners.